I am pleased to be joined by Tobi Bamtefa, who plays Bunny, the leader of the Crips in the hit crime thriller Mayor of Kingstown on Paramount Plus. Toby, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me, Michael. How you doing?
I'm doing well. So, season two premiered on January 15th. And at the time of this interview, we are two episodes into the new season. So, I won't try to spoil anything for those who aren't caught up. But I want to start with your casting for the role. How did you first become aware of the development of the show and the character?
It was just I just got a casting call from my agent. She sent me the character breakdown and the story. And at that time, I don't think I even knew who was attached to it or what was happening around it. I was just given just a very basic material, and but I really connected with it. Ironically, actually, it was a friend of mine who I had helped with the audition also told me to really like try and go for it. So I guess I had extra preparation for it. But I just connected with the character because the character Bunny is not he wasn't written as a stereotypical I guess gang lord or yeah. He seemed very human to me, and there were elements of him that I related to. One being his penchant for humor in sort of diffusing the stresses of his environment. Um, yeah, I use humor a lot to kind of diffuse a lot of my problems. I can come across as a bit rude or indifferent, but I'm just trying to not have a breakdown. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what's your preparation process for the performances of Bunny? Do you need to get into a certain mindset? Does having a season already under your belt kind of make things a little more seamless?
Um, no, I try not to take anything for granted. I try to not be comfortable in that. So the amount of effort and research that I put in season one is the same. I even put in probably even more in season two because I was given more opportunity to sort of to delve more deeper into the character and flesh him out. So the research was extensive. It was extensive. It was a crash course in American history, African American history. Right, I was researching things right down to food, you know, and among other things. So that coupled with kind of the practicalities, the physicalities of the character, the accent, had to kind of hone in on particular regions in America. The Midwest was my target, and just constant repetition. My wife is she usually helps me with a lot of these things, so she would kind of tell me if I'm sounding a little bit off, or if the character doesn't come across as believable and whatnot. So she's very good at that. So I'm really grateful to have her. So yeah.
So your scenes with Jeremy Renner are so deep and complex. So many emotions and tensions are always high. How do you give off a cool manner of Bunny while also showing the audience that these are high stakes? And what was it like bouncing off of each other in those scenes?
It's amazing. It's amazing. The thing about filming, particularly with Jeremy, is that the set, and also with the directors actually, Stephen Kay, Tasha Smith, and even Guy Ferland, also just working with them, they allow you to play on set. So we try different things. Sometimes sometimes I could try and play a bit cooler, and depending on what Jeremy comes in with, it's almost like I try to respond to it. So it's never sort of one tone or repetitive. Do you know what I mean? We try different things and we stick to what works. And the great thing about working with Jeremy is that he really keeps me on my toes, because it's Jeremy Renner. You know what I mean? So just working with him, I have to be really awake, and I love that. I love that because it means the scene is alive and it's electric and it's breathing, and and it doesn't matter how many takes you have. No two takes are ever the same. But when you find what works, when you find that magic, it clicks, and we both of us we both just go for it. And yeah,
Well,
I've learned a lot from him.
that foundation between Bunny and Mike McCluskey, with their relationship is trust and respect. Why do you think there's so much respect and trust between the two of them?
Because it's my belief that those two characters see, or they understand a world outside of this, outside of Kingstown, and they both connect on that reasoning. They both see the bigger picture, but they have their reasons for staying. They have their reasons. They have their attachments, and like I said, because of that, it brings them together because they're in like minds about it. They make no qualms about the fact that they can't get there. They sort of just both of them are just really just trying to make do, and I think that's the essence of their connection. I said that like 3 times. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Well, so we saw in the first season that the trust between them was tested. Will we see that trust be tested even more in season 2?
Man, you'll have to wait and see, man. You need to watch it. You'll have to wait and see. You know what I mean? Trying to get spoilers out of me. What?
Good answer. Good answer. Well, but before I let you go, I'm always interested in the correlation between actor and on-screen character. I know you mentioned that you kind of relate to the humor in Bunny. What other characteristics do you see in Bunny that you see in yourself?
I think the weight of responsibility on his head is something that I also relate to. I'm firstborn in my family, so there's a certain responsibility that comes with. I'm tasked with looking after my family, and I'm married, so I'm building my own family. So there's the responsibility of being a man in a world that is largely unforgiving is something that I totally understand. I've seen other men in my family go through it. I've seen other men around me go through it. Some of them have not survived it. Some of them have, and some of them have come out of it, maybe are still kind of going through it a little bit crooked. And I don't mean that in a criminal way. I mean in an emotional way. Some people can't express themselves the way that they would like. So yeah, that's something that I totally understand. I guess it's the responsibility that kind of keeps him grounded in a way, but it's also a weight on his head that stops him from expanding a little bit into more of who he could be a florist for all we know if it wasn't for pharmaceuticals. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I love that. And you can watch Tobi in Mayor of Kingstown right now on Paramount Plus. Thank you so much, Tobi, for taking the time to talk. I really appreciate it and hope to speak again soon.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it.